Hey, welcome to the Huntsville Hustle podcast, brought to you by our friends at Vandy's Heating and Air. We're going to highlight the local small businesses, their backbone of the Rocket City. And the guest today, my friend John Honey, and he's the owner of John Honey Photographers. Hey, man, welcome to the show.
What's up, Joe? I'm excited. I even got my hair cut for you today, bro.
Oh, dude, I got
Yeah.
mine cut just like yours. Look at this headset on headset crime. It's going to be a good day.
Well, now that I put it on, I can hear you. So,
It seems to be helpful. I don't know. Most
yeah.
people would say it's not an advantage, but so let's take it back a little bit. So you've done a few other things. I remember you had a kind of a handyman business there for a while. You were a bouncer at the Piggly Wiggly. You were the male model. But how did you get into photography?
Man, to be honest, about 25 years ago or so, my dad, he bought me this, I guess you would say it was one of the first ever digital SLR cameras. It was 4 megapixel. All right. So think about that. Like your phones now are like 45 or 50, but it was 4 megapixels, and I would take it to Alabama games. And I even took a couple of like photography classes from a local photographer, trying to figure out how to use it. Cause I just really always loved taking pictures. And then, I kind of set it down for a really long time. I'm still, like doing stuff with my phone and doing stuff, video wise, but never really picked it back up until a couple of years ago. And, I just feel like that it was just kind of embedded in me for years. But, I thought that I was supposed to be a teacher and a bouncer at the Piggly Wiggly. And I've done a lot of things, and I still can, I guess you could say I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm not a master of anything. So, yeah.
Man, but 4 megapixels 25 years ago, cutting edge though, my friend.
That
That was
was,
big time back there.
yeah. Yeah, you couldn't really, I don't even know if you could have blown most of those pictures up that I had
Yeah,
taken back then. So, yeah, that'd have been a
yeah,
little
that's
blurry.
cool. So how
Yeah.
did it come? You're doing that. How did you when did it hit you? Hey, I think I can make this work more than just a hobby.
Well, I was teaching middle school, and if anybody on here is, listening and you've ever taught middle school, you know that um, it's really difficult. To be honest, it wasn't my calling. And I made friends with art photography teacher at Hampton Cove Middle when I was there, and she sold me this Nikon that she used to do wedding photos and stuff with. Just started playing around with it, started watching YouTube. You know how YouTube is like the best education you can get now, and started doing some, I guess you would say, action shots at the local rec center. And I was doing them for free, right? Because I was just practicing. And then I started sending some of these out to people. And I had a friend of mine, Annie Harris. I remember this a little over 2 years ago. She said, "You're fixing to get really busy really soon." I looked at her and I was like, "What? You're crazy." But I've gotten really busy really soon. And, so I just kind of, from that moment forward, I just kind of fell in love with it. There's nothing like every photo is different because I really want it to be something that wows people, right? I want to turn it over to someone and they look at it and go, "That's incredible." So that's kind of my goal with every photo that comes through my computer that I take. And if I'm going to send it out, it's going to be worthy enough to hang on my wall as well.
So you do have a different approach beyond just wowing. But just the approach you take is a little bit different from what I've seen from other photography styles. How did you develop your own approach and your own style as you went?
Well, I tend to do what you call dramatic photos. So basically, if you want to be, I guess, successful at something, you really have to stand out. Honestly, I'm not saying that I'm the best photographer there is, because I've only been doing this full time for a year, or not even a year next month. But I kind of saw some stuff that I liked online, reached out to, actually, this E Squared Photography was, it's two ladies that used to be science teachers in Wisconsin. And I paid for their little, I guess you would say, class on that particular style. And then once I kind of went through what they were doing, I learned some things from somebody else, and I learned some things from another person. And I started like kind of just trying to work all that together as I'm editing, you know, just kind of came up with what I'm doing. And, I'm not the first to ever do it, but I think that I'm different from everyone that I've kind of tried to build my stuff around.
Yeah, just from an outside perspective, it kind of has a signature. When I see it, I'm like, all right, I know John took that picture. At that point, man, I can kind of see your style, man. So I've seen it grow. It's been cool to see. But what are you trying to capture beyond just a good or a cool picture?
Well, like I told you before, I want you to be wild. Like,
Yeah,
if, when Brennan comes home from the Air Force and he brings his basketball uniform, I'd like to wow you, right? right? So I want people to be wow, but I also want to bring out the personality of the person that is on the other side of the camera. My wife really helps me a lot in my business. If it wasn't for her, she's been a huge help, especially when I shoot females, because you know, that weird guy with the camera around females is really a struggle for some people. So when they know that my wife is an intricate part of what I do, and honestly, all of my assistants are females, because I don't, you know, I don't want to make anybody feel awkward. So, anyways, I don't discriminate when I hire, but probably going to be a female most of the time. So I'm really just trying to capture who they are, and building that relationship with them that my wife and I do from the get go, because she's very outgoing like myself, and we just try to really build that, I guess you could say, community with that person, so that they're not awkward in front of the camera, that they trust us, and it's really been beneficial.
It's all about the wives, man. I'm telling you, it's the only reason
All
I'm
right,
still in
yeah,
business after all these years. And take it from the dude that was training women in parking lots.
yeah,
I get it. I get it, man. It helped that my mom was there. Okay, the least you could tell, hey, my mom's going to be there. All right, I'm not just one creepy ginger. I've got a normal ginger who my mom's going to be there. So very helpful. I get it, man. I get it. So
yeah.
on the business side, what's been the biggest challenge turning that photography into an actual business?
I would say just finding clients. I don't know, for 4 or 5 months, I did a lot of free stuff. Honestly, I didn't ask. I just saw people, or I did a sporting event, or I reached out to someone that I know that had a baseball team or a softball team, or someone that had a senior, and they got the deal of the century. I worked on those photos the same way I work on them now. I put everything into them, and sometimes it takes me a little longer than most photographers to get things back to people. But if you want it quick, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So basically, really building that client base has been difficult. Also, just learning how to do the business side is really difficult for me, trying to keep up with everything, because my ADHD is off the chain. So, I struggle at times, really do struggle. But honestly, I really do just try to do my best at connecting with people and trying to build their trust, so that they know that no matter what, if they think it's bad, or if times don't work out or whatever, I'm going to do my best to try to make it good for them at some point.
That's it. And always the tough side I find with people with creative jobs is balancing that creative side with the business side. If you figured out something that works for you,
I don't know. You got any ideas?
I do not. I was hoping you'd have one.
I mean, I told you, I'm 40. I just turned 45, and it's a struggle. I'm winging it a lot. I mean, I need help. Like, I actually put out something on my page yesterday for a assistant, and like, I had like 27 people reach out to me within the end of the day. And now I don't even know how to comb through them, So you think about the business side of things, and you're trying to like run a business, and I'm like, hey, I'm really about to go out and get some help. And I can afford to do that now. But now I got 27 people, and I don't even really know, how to separate them from, here, the top to bottom. So
Well,
yeah,
man, you never ask a bald dude to comb through something. You know that.
that's right.
Can't be. Yeah, I get it, man. When we get offline, I got some ideas for you, though. So we'll talk about that. So,
All
so
right.
if someone that they want to take some great photos, but they don't know where to start, what are some tips you give people that they really want those wow photos? What are some tips you would give them?
If you're going to do it, you got to stand out, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. Like I said, I'm not the best photographer that there is out there. I mean, there's some dang good. I follow a lot of people online. I follow a lot of people. I mean, there's people locally. There's a lady in Rainsville. Her name's Deidre Pike, and she
She's
does
awesome.
she does some of the same stuff that I do. I mean, and she's incredible. So
Hmm.
I'm not the best, but I work really hard to try to make my customer happy. It hurts me if I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've had a few people complain, and then some people have complained about some stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't really see what you're complaining about. But I've had a couple of complaints, and it makes me just want to be better. It makes me want to do things better. So, if I had to give any advice to anyone, like, don't rush it. I know it's tough. Editing's tough. I'm so far behind right now. It's crazy. But if I rush it, then the people that trusted me are not going to enjoy the product. And that's what I try to tell them. And then also, if you're trying to get into photography, you have to you got to build your portfolio somehow. And if that means that you got to work for free, you got to work for free. If you really like it and you want to do it, then you got to find a way to do it. Right. It's kind of like when you want to be a comedian, right? You gotta find that place to tell those jokes. Not everybody's going to let you tell jokes. You just got to find a place to do it.
Nah,
So
especially after I did it. I haven't done it since.
I
That,
hear
that
you.
was Ooh, that was good. That's my stand-up comedy brother on here, man. The one time I did stand-up comedy, because my bro John was there with me. It helped out a lot. That was very helpful to have you with on alongside me. So speaking of something funny, man, you have a great sense of humor. If we find some of the similar things funny, what's some of the funniest stories from one of your shoots?
Man, I just recently, this lady's going to kill me. Just recently, I did a photo shoot locally at a wedding. Everybody today, I haven't really got into those big, expensive weddings because I don't want to mess those moments up.
No,
That
that's
is
pressure right there.
very scary. You miss that first look, or your battery dies, or you don't have it in focus. I mean, you don't get another chance. So I did a wedding party here recently, and the couple had a lot of people are getting married now outside of the doing the ceremony, and they're having a party or whatever afterwards. And I did this party, and the stepdad and the stepdad of the groom, after their picture, decided to take off their shirt, and he's a big guy, and do the Stone Cold Steve Austin beer pour down his belly. I mean, I haven't edited those photos yet. They're still a couple weeks out, but that was probably one of the funniest moments that I've captured while I was doing this. So, I mean, there's some funny things that happen. Stands fall over. I mean, you get weird looks from clients, but that one sticks out to me pretty well because I guess it was so fresh.
Hey, Stone Cold Stepdad needs to be a T-shirt, man. Get that man a Stone Cold Stepdad T-shirt and give it to her as a wedding gift. She will love that, I am sure. That'll be a good one. So, how
Right.
about one shoot or a moment kind of stuck with you over the years? You've had some pretty. I mean, you've done a lot of shoots. What's one that really sticks out from over the years?
I have this one client that I've had basically all year. She's a senior, and her mom I mean, she's great. She's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about her, but like she wants them to be fancy. I mean, we were standing out in the middle of Clinton down from Honest Coffee, and I had a guy that was working the garage. He's stopping traffic on one end. And I got this ladies' night in downtown. I think it's Thursday. I think that's still ladies' night. And there was a group of ladies that was stopping traffic on the other end of Clinton. And we've got this metal 2 and metal 6 lit up out in the middle of Clinton Avenue where all the bulb lights hang, outdoor lights hang. And man, I'm just out in the middle of the street, just taking this girl's photos, and I posted them, but they're really amazing. But that type of stuff to me is just, it kind of feeds my adrenaline side. I had a guy, and we were basically one street over the other day. I think it's Jefferson, right before you get to the square, on a motorized bike, just dog cuss me for being in the road. I mean, my wife, a senior girl from Huntsville High. And so the things that I do are a little bit crazy. They are. Like, I do some crazy stuff. And there was no traffic, but he happened to come around the corner at about 40 on an electric bike. And he was just letting me have it. But I kept it together. I didn't knock him off of it or anything. But a lot of my downtown shoots are pretty memorable because I do some pretty crazy stuff.
Look at your orange vest or something, one of those glowy vests. You got one of those yet? I may need to get you a construction vest or something. You'd be out there on the road. Then
I
he's all
mean,
right. Then people think you're with the city or something.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
that's a good idea. Get a John Hunting photography shirt in like lime green. Just get my Jordan on out there, and
Oh yeah,
so
do it, man. Yeah, stand out.
that'll be
Yeah, so
great.
if you want to stand out, literally be in the middle of the road. That'll help you stand out for sure.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah, if you want someone that's going to go above and beyond, risk life and limb for you, John Honey Photography, right there,
that's
right
right.
there. Was there a moment when you realized, hey man, I'm having a pretty big impact on some of my work. It's impacting some people in a pretty cool way. Is there that one stand out? Anything?
I'm taking photos, and I don't see myself changing lives or anything. I am delivering things to people that they can cherish, that will be passed down from generations. The way that we can keep up with things now, there's going to be some of my stuff on the cloud until there's no more cloud, right? But I really do have fun when I'm shooting sports teams because, like, most of the time I hear someone on the team leave and say, God, that was fun, or we had a great time. how many times have your son played basketball growing up? How many times did you get his picture made and he leave there and be like, Dad, that was fun.
Well, I'll tell you
Right.
this: I coached middle school football 15 years, and I hated picture day.
Yeah.
It was never fun, never.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it interrupts your practice, right? So I get that as a former coach, teacher, I get it that it interrupts your practice. But man, the kids, even when when I got my smoke gun out, and you got kids over there with the smoke gun, and they're smoking each other up, and then I'm lighting one of their football or basketball on fire, and the kids, they just love it. So I feel like I sell more of an experience than I do a photo shoot. It's not just like, hey, you show up, hey, stand like this, hold the bat on your shoulder, here we go, swing and stop, and then I take your picture. It's more of an experience, and I put a lot into it. So right now that's working out for me. So
Yeah, it's been cool to see kind of the behind the scenes, how you set up some of these amazing shots and how all the stuff you have to do to go through to set these up with the fire and smoke and all these cool things. Man, here's how old I am. When I was in high school, they were doing newspapers going to come do a photo shoot while practice. Got me and my fellow lineman out there, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys have some eye black?" We're like, "Nah, we don't wear that stuff." He's like, "All right, come over here." Got in a tailpipe, got some exhaust, rubbed it under our eyes for the photo shoot. And then this dude didn't run the picture. So I'm getting here cancer in my eyeballs just so this dude can get a shot. And then he never runs the pictures. That's how old I am. Shady business, man. Come on, man. So man, let me ask you. You talk about editing. How much time is spent shooting and how much time is spent editing? What's kind of the ratio?
well, most of my normal sessions, if I'm shooting a senior, I'm going to shoot for an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. Sometimes I'll go a little longer. It just depends on how the shoot's going and how much the client's enjoying the shoot. Sometimes I get kids that are not as excited about it. Mostly boys. They don't really, most of the boys don't love it, like senior boys especially. But I'll give them about an hour and a half on a full shoot. And then I'm going to spend 5 to 10 minutes at least. I mean, that's minimum probably on every photo that their parent gets. So, I just, like I said, there are times where I can set up, set up my Lightroom or my Photoshop to where I get the same colors and stuff like that as I did on the previous photo, but I have to, there's other things that you got to highlight. There's other things in each shot that you want to, bring out. So, those 5 minute photos, those are fun for me. The 10 minute ones, I start to like really over edit. And, I was talking to a lady today at Starbucks, and she was looking at my work and she was like, that's incredible. And I'm like, well, to me, I still got more work to do on it. So, I think I should sometimes just send stuff out and be okay with it. But I struggle with that because, like I told you, I want people to say nice things about me and nice things about what I do. So
Yeah, so
that's
that's
kind of,
that's when people realize, hey, the photo shoot, they look at that and then they look at the price of maybe what they're paying for. Like photo shoot, that's the fun side.
yeah,
You're really paying
yeah,
for
yeah.
the editing.
Yeah, the editing side, some people, want a lot, how it is. You've been in small business for a long time, and I want to help people, and I do stuff for people that are in sub socioeconomic areas and maybe can't afford some things. I try to help people out. Like, man, like it's going to come back around tenfold.
Sure.
I want to help people. I want to, let everyone be able to experience. If I find out there's a family member or a kid on a team or something like that, and I find out that they can't get their photos because they just can't afford it. I mean, I'm going to figure out a way, just because, I can't give everything away, but, I want people to experience that. And I don't even know what the question was. I'm started rambling on something.
You answered it, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You answered. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I just want people to be happy about what I bring to the table.
Yeah. And I've seen the comments on your social media. People are happy. People are definitely enjoying what you're doing for sure, man. So do
Right.
you have any kind of big projects you're working on there or anything, any shoots coming up you're excited about?
Well, I got 7 seniors today at DAR. I got to go up there after we get off of this. But what I'm really excited about is I'm building a studio. So
Okay.
I've added basically 2-story building next to my home, which, you'll have to come to New Hope to my studio. But I mean, it's going to be a place where I don't have to, in some of my slower times where it's cold, too cold, or it's rainy, like we can get some work done inside. So, or it's too hot. I mean, Man, I've been out doing photo shoots in the summer, and like I want to tell the people this is going to be double the price that I quoted you. I just didn't know how hot it was going to be today. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting to me that I'm going to be able to bring people in to not, and I don't have to ask and try to rent places and ask for permission. It's there. And I think it'll keep me more busy that I've got a place to just schedule people.
It's exciting, man. Congratulations. That's very cool. So we're gonna move on to the rapid fire section, man. You got to lock in for this one right here. So this section's gonna brought to you by Huntsville Hub. So if you need some office space, you need some good work around, some good folks, let them focus on that part. You focus on your business, they'll handle the rest. Go take a tour sometime, just see what they got to offer right here in South Huntsville. Great folks over there. Kelly Andrews, tell her I said hello. So let's get into this, man. So one word to describe Huntsville right now.
Growing.
Every day, man, whether we like it or not. So what is your favorite place to shoot in Huntsville?
Downtown, definitely.
In the middle of the road. I'll answer that. I know that
Hey,
now.
in
In the middle
the
of the road.
in the alleys in the middle of the road, I find all kinds. Downtown has some. I have some secret places downtown.
Keep it on the download.
I try.
So what's an underrated photo location in this area?
Underrated. Oh man, now you trying to get me to give away.
Like, don't give it if it's trade secret, man. Don't give it up.
Underrated, man. I would probably have to say Ditto Landing.
That's a great spot, man. Get that bridge in the back. That's classic
Yeah,
right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Now you a early morning shoot or sunset? I mean, you probably work with kids. They ain't getting up early, but which one do you prefer? Sunrise, sunset.
I prefer the sunset because you can do, you know, well, it's a one question answer, right? It's a rapid fire.
Yeah, you can go into it, man. Go ahead. Tell me your reason. I
Well,
want to know.
sunset to me is, it's that best light. You know, I can shoot in the middle of the day. I've got filters and stuff like that for my lens, but it's still not the same. That golden light time, it's not the same. So when I give you a golden light time or you book a golden light time, like I expect it to be incredible. So I try to do a lot of stuff around that time.
Awesome. There you go. So what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice is that on photography or in life in general.
Whatever you want. It could be either one.
Well, to me, I would say that it's to treat other people the way I want to be treated, right? It's a golden rule.
Golden rule for a reason.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody says that, right? Go above and beyond. If your customer's not happy, try to make them happy. You can't make everybody happy. I don't sell ice cream. You don't sell ice cream. There's somebody like you're a cool guy, positive as all get out, but there's somebody out there that don't like Joe Martin, and I don't know
It's true.
why. I don't know why.
Hey, yeah, it's true, man. They're out there.
Yeah,
They're few and far, but
yeah,
they're out there. Some people
yeah,
just don't like gingers, man. Let's just put it out there. They don't
yeah,
like gingers. Let's put it
yeah.
out there.
Well,
Can you blame them? You know.
so I just try to my best. Try to do my best at like you know doing to people or treating people the way I want to be treated. And all you have is your legacy, right? That's really all you got at the end of the day. So if people are saying that I'm doing them wrong or I'm treating them unfairly, then there goes my legacy.
It's all right. So, how can our podcast community help you this month? What can we do for you?
Man, just follow me. Go to my Facebook page, Instagram page, but follow me, share my stuff. If you like it, share it, reach out. I'll see what we can, if you want to ever get with me and do a photo shoot, reach out and I'll do something for you. I mean, I've done some pretty crazy stuff, but
He's definitely worth the follow. I mean, just go see the unique stuff. He's not like anybody else. That's why I wanted to have him on. He's doing some things that other people are not, and he does it in his own way. So just go check him out, give him a follow. You won't regret it.
yeah, yeah.
So, man, hit the what is your Instagram? What is your Facebook?
It's just John Honey Photography on both. You can find if you search John Honey Photography on both pages or sites, you should be able to find it pretty quick.
Good
I've
deal,
got
man. Yeah, we'll link those in show notes. You can just click on. If you're not a good speller like me, you can do that. And it's
yeah,
Honea, not
yep,
Honey, by the way. So yeah, John Honey Photography. Go check him out on there. I'm telling you, he's doing some cool stuff, unique stuff. And you want him for your sports team. He's got some good stuff. Not those regular stuff where you got to cross your arm over and do that. We all did that back in the day. So man, appreciate you coming on, John. It's been fun to catch up with you.
yeah, man, yeah. I really appreciate you inviting me. I've been wanting to be on the Joe Rogan, Joe Martin,
Same dude.
the same guy, the Joe Martin show forever. So I'm glad I'm here.
It's been fun, man, catching up. We'll have to go do stand-up comedy again. We'll have to do that. Check that out again. And everybody listen, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to
Yeah,
thank our sponsors, Vandy's Heating and Air, Homely Huntsville Newsletter. If you want to know what's going on in the city, it's growing like we talked about. Go check them out. They keep you updated on everything, all kind of stuff. and then the Huntsville Hub. Go get you a tour of that spot. It'll be worth it. John, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing
Yeah.
great. Wowing people. That's a job, right? And I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you guys next week on the Huntsville Hustle
No,
podcast.
thank you.